Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome coaches. Thank you for your time and joining us. This is the second call in this series of coach calls that are hosted by me, and I work for CINSAM at Northern Kentucky University. And also we partner with the Challenger Learning Center. Jackie Caudill, she is the first senior mentor, and she's also on this call. So we're here to answer your questions. And in today's call specifically, we want to address any issues or any questions you might have about being event ready. So event ready, that's a terminology that first uses for teams. And we went through these in some of the earlier in our last call, but to let you know what those are, basically registering your team and paying for a team. So, does anybody need any help with registering and paying for your team? Okay. I'm just going to go on if I don't see any.
My question is, I'm planning on starting a second team, and then is that okay? Just go through the steps again?
Yes, you have to create a new team for every team you have. And thanks for asking because some schools they have like keep adding team members to the same team, and that doesn't work for First. First has a limit of only 10 kids per team. And so if you have more than 10, then yeah, you'll have to start a second team.
And then,
So you can have the same coaches for the second team, especially if like you are meeting in a common space where both teams are sharing the same resources during the same time. Children or team members, they can only be on one FLL team per season, but coaches and the administrators, they can be under multiple teams.
okay,
So,
I
I think
might
that
just piggyback on that a second, Jean. A good thing about that, John, is if you guys are already cleared with First, you've already signed your consent form and your background check is cleared, you don't have to do that again for the second team. It just carries. You just have to do that once as
okay,
coaches if you're the same coach for both teams.
okay.
right.
Yeah, I think that was my main and only question. I think I'm just waiting
Yeah.
for some more funds to pass through the bank before I pay for it, but hopefully by the end of the week.
Yeah. Now you do have to send the people that are coaching an invitation. So the invitations
Yeah,
still have to go out. But once they accept them, they do not have to repeat the background check or the training because they've already completed that.
all right.
Okay.
Yes. All right, thank you.
The next thing I want to talk about is the intent to complete Pete form. This is the form. I just sent it out today. This is a form that it comes to me and it helps collect all the data that I need to assign the teams to each event. So the things that I have to make sure I do when I'm assigning teams is to make sure that every event has at least 12 teams and that every team is assigned to an event and that no tournament has more than their capacity. So it would be awesome if everybody could have their first choice, but unfortunately, that's not what happens. A lot of times we have too many teams in one area and not enough teams in a different area. So last year, the tournament that had the fewest number of teams, and we had to have teams go to their tournament, it was the Lexington tournament. So at least it's in the middle of the state. I just want to make sure that you are letting me know your preferences on this form, but there's no guarantee that everyone will get their preference. But I work in the best as I can to make it workable for everybody.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do we have to be event ready to fill out that intent to compete? Because I'm still waiting on a couple of our junior high kids to
Okay.
fill out the paperwork.
Yes, you do. So you have to be event ready, and then when you're event ready, that your team number will show up on that form.
Well, our team number is on there.
Then if your number shows up on that form, then your first says that you are event ready.
Okay.
So if you have a couple of team members, is that what you're waiting on? A couple of team members?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's checking for the coaches and payment.
Okay.
So thank you for that clarification.
Right. Amanda, did you get Jean's email today with the intent to compete form?
Yes, I started working on it as I was leaving school.
Okay, you must be event ready then because you
Yes.
wouldn't be on Jean's email base if you weren't, right, Jean?
Right, right. I took first data in whatever team that they said was event ready. I pulled all those team numbers and their team names and put them in that form because you wouldn't believe this, but a lot of times we get erroneous team numbers in that field. So I wanted to be very clear so it would be really hard for people to put in the wrong team numbers.
I was just worried because I had two teams that have all of their members done, but I have one team that I have just, I think, two in there that are registered. But I know we've paid everything. We've got all our materials. Kaylee and I are all set, so.
You will have some time to get those back because there are some teams that are still forming their teams in September. But you do definitely have to have everybody's consent before you go to the tournament. In fact, most of the tournaments, they ask for that roster, your team roster, showing that all your team members have consent like 2 weeks before the event. So you still have some time for that, but it's great. You're ahead of the game if you only have two team members that haven't consented yet. I'm just going to share my screen with the exact form. So this is just information, and here's the question where it asks you what your team number is. I update this list over every weekend. If it's not there now, it will definitely be updated over the weekend. So if your team is not on here, then the option at the bottom is team number not listed, and then it'll give you a message that says first doesn't have your team marked as being event ready. Now, some of you might notice some of these team names, like for instance, this to me, like this could be a placeholder, Redwood 3. If this is not the team name that your team has settled on, that's okay at this point because you can go into your dashboard and update your team name, and then that information will flow down. But what's really important is the team number. This
And I
is
encourage you guys to get your team names settled and on your dashboard the way you want them
right,
sooner rather than later. Event directors and coordinators are going to start using them to make plans. And you
right.
can change them mid-season. It doesn't always get changed on everything we do. And it'd be bad for you guys to show up and have your old name in a slideshow or something. So just a
Yeah,
suggestion to get that settled pretty quickly.
yeah, because your team name goes to a lot of places. It goes into the scoring software, it goes to the judge advisors room, it goes to the referees room. There's a lot of different places where that gets fed to. And then down here, this is what first wanted me to add to this form. So this just acknowledges it's the same privacy policy that you probably already have read when you went through the training. Then we ask for the lead coach and the email address and the cell phone number. This is, for emergency purposes. If someone at the tournament needs to contact your team number, and if the head coach is not going to be the one at the event with the kids, because sometimes things come up, and even though the coach planned to be there, they're no longer able to be there. There is a I made it optional, but there is a place for a second coach's name on here. So if you already know that your assistant coach or head coach will not be there, then you can put, this is the person that's going to get information about the event. Okay. So this is going to go to the tournament directors for your team. And then This question, how many student members are on the team? You have to have a number between 2 and 10, and this helps the tournaments know how much materials to order. Like for instance, if they're giving out medals, or if they have different size tables, they might make sure that a team of 10 gets a larger table, or 2 tables stuck together, whereas a smaller team might have something more appropriate for their space.
Pit
So
space is another one. How much space you need for your pit.
yes, yeah, pit space, medals. If they give anything for pit passes, some people use the wristband, some people use the pins or whatever that tournament uses. So that helps with that. The type of team, this is just for us to see where the growth is and where we can we keep historical data on that. That's just for our information that goes into our reports, that goes back to NASA and people that give us grants. This is the travel time in minutes to each tournament. And please, you don't have to go and Google and figure it out to the minutes how long it's going to take, the travel time. Just estimate it and do like at least 3, because I think that, I don't think someone from Hazard is going to be assigned to the Northern Kentucky tournament. So if you do at least 3, that'll be great. This question, I'm asking specifically about Friday and Saturday, so that we can make some good decisions on placing the teams in the event. Now, both the Southeastern Kentucky, that's on a Friday on the 9th, and the Appalachian is on the 10th. And so, since these are the same weekends, hopefully there'll be, this will help the ability to make it so that every team can compete on a day of the week that they are permitted to do, or able to do, or even prefer to do. And here we ask about accommodations. Accommodations are not only physical accommodations. For instance, if you have somebody that's in a wheelchair and needs to use elevators and ramps, or on crutches, that are long distance, would be hard to go really far for a judging room, or maybe wheelchairs, they generally need more space in the pit area. So it's that kind of thing. Plus, it's if you want to share with the judge advising team on specifics that pertain to your team, that you would like the judges to be aware of. So this can be neurodivergent team members. A lot of times, some of the judges will notice things anyway, but if you want to make sure it's clear. Another thing that I would suggest, we had one team that had one of their teammates recently pass. That would be good for the tournament directors to know as well, just to be aware of it. Other types of things might be translators. Well, first, the stance is that if you have a translator, they don't get extra time. But what if a team has someone there that can be a translator that they bring with them, but they're not an official team member? So some tournaments will allow that as well. More often, though, there usually is someone on the team that can serve as a translator if there are some people on the team whose language is not English and they are communicating with the team in a different language. That way they can answer a question that's posed to them, even though they might not understand, the question from that the judges ask. The last question, oh, I'm sorry, the second last is, this is just, if your team is like, well, we're the closest to this tournament, but we would really like to go to that tournament. So if you need people or teams to go to the other tournament, then if you want to volunteer ahead of time, that really helps as well. We'd rather send a team that wants to go out of their area than a team that doesn't want to go, because we know when we do that, we are adding travel time for your team. And these kids are still young yet. We hate to make them travel long distances. And then the last question is just an open-ended question. That is there anything else that you want to tell us that you think would be helpful for the tournament organizers to know? So then here is just, the branching statements. If your team is not listed in that first question, then you will get the message that uh, you're not event ready. And so first has to still receive your team registration fees, or the 2 adult coaches have not completed their training, or maybe their background check isn't completed yet. So if you have any questions, you can always email that address. This email address goes to me, but it's also for our whole CINSAM team. Since we're trying to hire somebody to join our team in addition to me, so we came up with a team email for that. And then at the end is just the form submission. So that's what you can expect when you go to fill out the intent to compete form. And if you've already filled it out, awesome, good job. Okay. Are there any questions not related to what we went on other today? Because, we're here to answer any of your questions.
Robot related questions.
Any
First related questions.
any FLL related questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, do you have a question?
Well, kind of. The reason I asked you about that, about the Friday deal,
Yes.
was because with us having 3 teams, we are kind of wanting to split them up and do one team on Friday, which would be our junior high, because they are able to catch up on classwork and stuff a lot easier than our youngers.
Sure.
But if it's a situation with numbers and we need to bring another team on Friday, we can do that and then do one on Saturday.
Thank you for that.
Oh.
So now your
So-
third team is Explore, right?
No, that's our 4th team.
Oh, you have 3 FLL teams.
Yeah, we have one that's
You go,
8th graders.
girl.
I know. We have one that's 8th graders at the junior high, and then we have
Okay.
2 in our building. We have a 5, 6, and then a 4, 5 group.
Okay. All right.
So,
And they're all
and then we have
registered
our
online?
Explore team.
Okay.
The only
I got
ones who aren't are our junior high, but we've got 2 of them that are registered, and we'll get the rest of the kids registered on that shortly.
But you guys are on with coaches, team number, name, it's paid, all that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
We're good.
Good deal. Good.
I've already printed the rosters for the other 2 teams, so
Okay. I love it. You're all
Mine
in.
is-
Are on it.
might as well stick it in our folder.
Jane, Amanda is a 2nd-year coach. She was one of the ones that got to start last year with the NASA grant.
Oh,
She
Yeah.
has
that's
one team, and she is, I'm telling you. And you remember that Super Saturday idea I told you about inviting the parents in? That's Amanda.
oh,
That's her. That's her
great.
baby.
That is great.
Yeah, we got them in there, got them registered, got their t-shirt sizes, got everything built all in one day, and we were ready to start on the next Tuesday. So it
Wow,
looked really good.
that's
Okay.
great organization. That's
Plus-
great.
Plus, the parents were able to see what happens with it all.
I
That's
love that.
that's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So,
Amanda, am I the admin for your third team?
No, I believe just the one.
If you don't mind, will you make me the admin? Because that'll give me access to be able to see where things stand, and I can get information. I won't be able to see the kids' names.
Okay.
I can get your team name, your number. I can see, make sure everybody's event ready and all of that. And I don't have to bug you so much for that information.
Okay. That'll be on our excavation creation team, and then the other one will be the historical legend.
Okay.
So I'll add that because you should be on the one that is the prehistoric panthers.
Yep.
Well, those are
Okay.
great names.
I love the names that people are coming up with this year, Jean. They're fantastic. Wait till you hear them.
That's great.
Well, our kids are loving this theme. So
Oh,
Good.
that's
I'm
good.
so glad. So
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that before this year, a lot of explore events were on the same day as the challenge events. But there's I know Jackie, she's having her explore events on a different day, and so is the Northern Kentucky. It's not going to be on the championship day. The Northern Kentucky Explore is going to be March 14th. So it's just a lot on one day. So we just feel like if we separate those two events on two different days, we can just make it more tuned to that age group
yes.
and throw more resources at it. Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Yeah. Any other questions?
Or want to just tell us how your season's going?
We're really just getting started. It's going to be practice 2 or 3 next time. But we have a plan since we didn't have a plan last year. We feel pretty confident that we're going to do a lot better.
Good.
So,
Good. Well, I'm glad things are going well and that you've gotten off to a start, John. So that's great. Thank you for sharing.
all right.
And again, let us know if we can help, okay?
Sure thing.
Well, thanks everybody for joining this call. And I hope you guys have a great season. And if you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call or email. We're here to help. We're here to help. I'm going to go ahead
Absolutely.
and end this recording here.
I have a quick question.
Sure
Yeah.
thing.
We were looking at the score sheets, and at the bottom of the score sheets, on like the overall, I think it has these different little awards. How do we know if we like qualify for being in the running for those or anything like that?
Those are, you're talking about the engineering excellence, rising star.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, so in the judging room, they complete the rubrics, but if they feel your team would be a good candidate for that award, the judges put a check mark in that
Okay.
on that rubric, okay? And then during the course of the deliberations, the engineering award is actually given out to the team that had the highest overall score but did not receive one of the other awards. So for instance, if they did really well, but if they did not receive the Champions Award or the Robot Design, the Innovation Project, or the Core Value Award, and then they will get the Engineering Excellence Award.
Okay.
Because you can
Because
have,
ours got the engineering award last night or last year. So
oh
I was
yeah,
just wondering how that worked.
yes, because see, a team can get the Innovation Project Award and not be in the top overall. They just did really well in the project rubric. So if your team got the engineering award, that's really a great reward because it shows balance across all the aspects instead of just a strength that's focused in just one area.
Jean, we had Jared join the call. Jared, did you have any specific questions for us this evening?
I was just clicking through my email and was like, oh, this is going on right now. Um, so I think my team is competition ready. I still have some students who need to get registered online. So I don't
So,
have 100% of my kids online yet with that
okay,
registration.
so you can still complete the intent to form even if all your team members have not consented yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna share my screen.
I think I just filled it out. I think that
You
was
just
the email I
fill it
got to
out?
before this
Oh,
one.
okay. So if you,
Sarah, where
Yep.
are you from? I'm sorry to interrupt. Where are you
Steep-
from?
Steeplechase.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
So it's our
Okay.
first year with the challenge team.
so if you're first year with the challenge team, okay. So if you're the first year, Steeplechase right here.
Yep.
So, yeah, look at all these rookie teams we have. We'll have more teams. Eventually, this list will grow. So if you got yours done and out of the way, that's great because then you'll have fewer teams to search through. Okay, great, great. Well, thank you for getting that taken care of. So then, once your event ready, you filled out this form, then what? Hopefully, you've invited all the team members and their parents will probably this month and next month will complete what they need to do to approve or consent to their child being on your team. This form is due October 1st. After that, I collect all the data and I make these assignments. And as soon as we can settle on all the assignments where everybody has a place to go, then you can expect that information to be emailed out to everybody. The biggest change that we are doing this year is I'm telling everybody what the dates are now ahead of time, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get that date. But it just turns out that so far, it's 2 weekends. It's either um, the weekend in December or the weekend in January, and unless yeah, here we are. We have I see what happened there. The ninth is the Southeastern. So we have two tournaments on December 13th, the one in Louisville and the one in Lexington. And then on the 9th, we have the Southeastern one, which is a Friday. And then on the January 10th, we have the Appalachian and the one down in Bowling Green. We have not found a date. We're still solidifying the Northern Kentucky one. So hopefully that will be finalized this week. At least the venue, we still don't know what date that will be. Is in October, as soon as I can get that out to you, then you'll know what event you will have been assigned to.